Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning meeting of this virtual hedge fund experience we call ARMR Investing. Thanks for joining me. You're the portfolio manager on the desk. You're the risk manager of your own assets. I'm going to share with you how I'm managing my own capital, figure out how it fits into your approach. All right, yesterday's action. The risk monitor, of course, went yellow last week on Friday. So the caution flag continues to fly. So let's go over big picture risk monitor, how that affects our macro view. Then we'll look at, highlighted group of the day, highlighted stock of the day, some ARMR research, that type of thing. So first chart to look at is going to be the S&P. Nothing has really changed too much after yesterday's action, but I would just say that it continues to be constructive. How about that? It continues to be constructive. There's the Nasdaq 100, and here's the equally weighted Nasdaq. Okay, so the equally weighted Nasdaq 100 and the weighted Nasdaq 100 continue to lead the market. We saw a nice surge in the Magnificent Seven, the leaders. We talked about that yesterday. The highlighted stock of the day yesterday was Tesla. Okay, we got on the Tesla trade early in the morning yesterday. We bought it off of the gap up. So it gapped up like 5%. We bought it, I think, before 10 o'clock. Yeah, before 10 o'clock in that green box. And then it went up another 5 or 6% by the end of the day. So we had a nice day trade on with Tesla. We highlighted that in the morning meeting yesterday and focused on the Magnificent Seven. So good volume yesterday, not great volume, but we saw some volume come in. We saw it come into leaders. The leaders were supporting the market higher, and that's all positive things. So I know there's CPI this week. Apple's having their event day today. The Fed meetings next week, and I got very excited today because I was perusing my Twitter feed, or my X feed, whatever you want to call it now. And starting to see guys talking about impending market doom. Not starting to, they always do, but boy, they're jacking up the rhetoric, man. Look out next week. That'll be the beginning of the next massive Elliott wave down in the market when the Fed does blah, blah, blah. Just fear mongering. They haven't the slightest idea what they're talking about. And I don't care. You shouldn't either. It's noise. Just set it off to the side. You can chuckle at it if you want. We're just going to execute our strategy. Risk on, put capital to work, have stops. Stops get hit, start raising cash. We recognize caution, so we've raised some cash. If we get a follow through this week, maybe the follow through happens next week, much to the chagrin of the bears, I'm happy to put that cash back to work. Risk monitor goes back to green. So right now it's cautious, going to have some cash, going to be day trading in an aggressive portfolio. I put day trades on, and then I decide if I want to hold some of those overnight with my break even as the stop. So I'm playing with the house money. That's one way to go. If you want to get ahead of bullish action in the market, you get on good day trades that make you money. You now have a cushion for your principal, and you carry it overnight, make it a swing trade if you want. That's your prerogative. I do that with some of my aggressive capital. But for the majority of the capital I'm managing, I'm carrying a cash position and waiting for the next opportunity when the risk monitor goes back to green. So this was the lock and load day, as I like to call it, on Tesla. So it takes out the high of yesterday, and that would be the buy day, and it'll be breaking this downtrend that we talked about yesterday morning. Other names that we were day trading yesterday. Okay, we're on Amazon. We highlighted this yesterday. It was already lock and loaded. So picking off Amazon first thing in the morning right here, broke above the opening range high. So we got the gap and go trade on Amazon. It gapped up. We get long when it breaks the opening range high. That's the gap and go trade. Takes off. Nice big up day in Amazon. We picked off some Google. That was a flat trade. I carried it overnight. All of these things I carried overnight in my aggressive portfolios. We picked off Meta right in here in the opening range, right around the VWAP, these black dots are the VWAP, and it closed higher at the end of the day. So we were up on 3 out of 4 stocks and up pretty significantly on a couple. So we carried these 4 of the Magnificent 7. And this looks to me like possibly the baton is passing. I don't know. It's just one day. Energy was down. Big cap tech surging higher. I don't know if that's going to continue. I wouldn't get too enthusiastic about anything that happens on a Monday. So there was some Monday muscle, but we all know turnaround Tuesday happens often. So I'm very curious to see what happens today. Can we hold on to the gains of yesterday? Can we add to them on a Tuesday? Or does the whole thing unravel? If the whole thing unravels, then that's a very bearish sign, and it's why we've got caution flag. It's why we've got cash. I'll be out of all these trades if the market unravels. Okay, but if we add to the Monday muscle on a Tuesday, it's very bullish. But of course, we got to get to the end of the week. The weekly bar is what matters. Okay, so I imagine before the risk monitor actually goes back to green, we'll need to be in the Thursday, Friday range before that would happen, is my guess. Okay, other trades that we talked about yesterday, we were focused on cybersecurity. Palo Alto is the #1 trade we're on there in cybersecurity, right? So I shared with you that chart pattern is just unbelievable. One of my favorites. Breakout, gap down. That blue box is going to be your island. The gap up is the reversal, and the breaking of the downtrend we're on. Okay, so you can categorize these stocks we're talking about right now as stocks to buy, stocks to watch, those types of things. That's what we're going over right now. So adding to that, it looks like cybersecurity is having a move in here. CrowdStrike, we added yesterday and rode that higher during the day. So we have a profit going on. In a day trade, we carried it overnight in a swing position. Zscaler we carried as well, although it was back to break even. But I carried it overnight anyway. See how it's going to do today. And OKTA, I don't own it, but I should. It's another example of an island reversal, and I just love island reversals. This one's got a couple. Gap down, makes the island, gaps and runs. Gaps down again, and then gaps up. That's even more aggressive. Gapping below the 200-day moving average, this green line, and then gapping back above it. I should be long OKTA. I just, how many cybersecurity names do I want? I don't know. I might be long OKTA. Those 3 stocks look really, really good to me. But this is the highlighted chart of the day. And this is also on the ARMR whiteboard as a power play name. Now, let me be very clear. Enovix Corp is a risk-on bull market concept stock, okay? They're in the process of that missionary sale, proving that their battery technology is light years beyond everybody else. And if they can, they've cornered the market, and there can be huge upside. If the risk monitor was green, I'd be pounding the table this morning saying this thing is going to go to the moon. I'm not saying that. Much more cautious, but I do have a trade on. Okay. I like to, it's the whole point of the whiteboard. You can find it on the website, go to the website, go to the whiteboard. You can see it all lined up. When I see a name that we've done the research on, which is why it's on the whiteboard. So we already know what the story is and we're comfortable with it. We're comfortable with the management team and all these things. It rockets to the top of my list when it comes to day trading or getting on a swing trade, because we know the fundamentals are right. This is a concept story. You never know when they're going to drop another piece of news, hopefully bullish, that rips the stock to new highs. They're following a path to profitability. It's probably a year away. So this is not something that's going to happen overnight, but there's markers along the road that they're going to hit. And when they hit them, mile markers, stock tends to respond. I don't know when they're going to be. Nobody does. So I'm just looking at the chart saying it's broken out of a big downtrend. Okay. And we got on this trade. This was the The lock and load bar is the white bar. The green bar is the buy day. Okay. Ripped higher. Okay. Now it's sold all the way off as the market corrected, right back to the 200-day moving averages. The gray line is the standard. The green line is the exponential 200-day. Lock and load was Friday. Yesterday was the buy day. So I got a position on. We'll see what happens. Now let's shift over to cannabis again. We spoke about cannabis yesterday. You know my thesis on cannabis, okay? So I'm just going to share this with you today. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Let's go over the thesis again. There are 4 major news events that have to occur to turn this pipe dream, pun intended, into a reality for investors. HHS had to release a memo saying it should be rescheduled. We got that. The stocks are running. The DEA has to release a memo agreeing. The Justice Department has to release a memo saying we don't want to prosecute these anymore and we think it should be rescheduled. And then we have to get a reschedule. Somewhere in there might be some type of safe banking bullshit. And I say BS on that, because that's just a way for politicians to hide behind doing really nothing. So safe banking will put the stocks up, but I'll be shocked if there's anything significant in the safe banking information for investors in reality. It'll put them up, but I'll be shocked. I'll have to read through the watered down bill to see if it's actually of any value. But anyway, those are the 5 things we're looking for. 4 things I'm going to call them, because safe banking, I don't know. It's a roll of the dice what's going to be in that document. But you get DEA, Merrick Garland, and you talk about rescheduling. And you got a real investment theme. So we only have one of those 4 key events. So I got about 25% of my capital to work. And I'm going to layer it in as we're successful. So make no mistake, if the DEA letter drops on a Sunday and it recommends continuing Schedule S1, these stocks are going to drop 50%. Like that. So we already have our position on, and what you do not want to do is be greedy at this point. Now's not a time to be greedy. There'll be plenty of time to build up a huge position as these events unfold. So I got a position on MSOS, IIPR, Telray. Those are the 3 I'm willing to own right now. There's all kinds of junk going up right now, and it really concerns me. Okay? Right, so you have total junk, Canopy Growth going up, ACB going up. These companies love to take strength and announce another dilutive equity offering. Okay? They do it constantly because they're desperate for cash. Stocks rally, they come out with a secondary offering. Some of them might even have, shelf offerings where, they can do it at any time they want. You won't even know it. It'll come out, oh, they just dump more shares in the market, raise cash. They're cash strapped, guys. OGI is my favorite out of those 3 pieces of junk. OGI, I think, is actually a real company because of the technology they have. But when the junk starts to rally, it makes me nervous. Now, Wall Street bets can make stocks go berserk. So I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of upside in these stocks in the next couple of weeks. Maybe I shouldn't be nervous. Maybe the fact that junk's starting to go means there's real money coming into the space. I don't know. But it always makes me nervous. So I just wanted to say to you today, caution. I've got a position on. I have calls on that go out till January. January 25. I went way out. I went out of the money, calls, lottery ticket. 2025 calls. I went way out, lottery ticket. I'm not selling them. I'm going to trade everything else. And if I get stopped out, I'm just going to hold on to those calls because I don't know when the next piece of news is going to come out. And if I get lucky and all of those things I talked about happen, my lottery ticket's going to pay off huge. I'm going to name my next boat after these stuff, MSOS. That'll be the name of the next boat, MSOS. But anyway, so just word to the wise. Have fun, execute. I think something's happening here. It's bullish. It's great, but we need more than HHS to really build any kind of a really big position. Is my opinion. Okay. I said that maybe the baton's passing a little bit. I don't know. I mean, that was an inside out reversal day on XLE and XOP. That's pretty obvious. But, one day on a Monday doesn't mean much. And now we read that the Saudis are, cutting back more on energy. And so oil USO is up over 1% today. So who knows? Maybe these stocks will hold on. USO is going to go higher and energy stocks are going to go up today. So that looks great. I almost pulled the trigger on PTEN, HP, Rig, Diamond Offshore, and I'm just not doing it. I've got my allocation to energy. I'm doing it through the 4 ETFs. I have big position there, so I've got enough exposure, and that's just how I'm going to play it. Makes it easier for me. I'm going the ETF route. It's more conservative. It's true. It's more conservative. I'm happy being more conservative with my energy play. Where am I aggressive? Cannabis. Where am I aggressive? URNJ. URNJ looks awesome. The Iranian stocks are blowing out. URA. CCJ. Those are my 3 horses. Okay. So to wrap up, I'm looking for the Magnificent Seven to keep leading. I hope that happens. I'm leaning into where the success is, but it's still cautious. We still have cash. We're using day trading tools to put positions on. If we're not up by the end of the day, you don't carry them overnight. If you're up, you have your choice. You can carry them with a raise stop, a break even, and see if you can make money with the house's capital, or you can book your profits. Day trade. We had some great trades yesterday. You can book those gains and then look to put them back out today until such time as the risk monitor goes back green, and then you hold stocks overnight. So that's up to you. You guys are the risk managers of your own portfolio, so please act accordingly. And I look forward to working with all of you. 9:30, we'll get our day started. All right. Have a great trading session, everybody, and be the smart money. You be the smart money. Think your game plan through and execute it. Be the smart money. Take care, guys.